back to another video, everybody. I hope everybody is having a great 2025 so far. It's only a few days after that new year, and I've got a new project going on. So we've got actually two projects happening at one time. So we've got two different tanks on my dining room table currently. But this tank right here is going to be my dad's office tank, and it's going to be both just for a tank for his office, but also some advertising for this channel, which would be awesome. And so what I've got going on, I've got a lot of serious stone happening right now, and I've got all of these, whatever kind of wood you want to call it. This one actually looks like an eagle, and it's going to be kind of in a memory of my nanny, because she absolutely loved the eagles. So my idea for this is going to be going to make a mountain range within the tank, and we're going to see if I can make an eagle soar. So I've been playing around with this for a few days, kind of seeing how I like the layout of it. And so now I'm going to glue it as I put it back in. So before I actually start putting everything back in here, I wanted to explain what I did with the substrate. I actually kind of layered it. The reason I did it really fast was because I'm working on another project that is actually behind the camera right now. And I wanted to make sure I had enough aqua soil left and I wanted to make sure I had enough aqua soil for this tank as well, because I knew I needed to do it quickly. So what I did was I just took some aqua soil and put it below this, and then I took some black sand and put that over the top just to kind of seal in that aqua soil. And then I took this little gravel, it's actually from Carib Sea, because I have a lot of it. So I went ahead and used that as this base substrate level. And I think it's going to look really nice with the serious stone and this specific type of wood, and kind of make that mountain range. And we're going to see how it turns out. Came up with. It's a little bit different than what I originally had in here, but I think it turned out really well. So what I've done here is just kind of making kind of a mountain range V style shape going on. I'll try to get some better B-roll of this, because I have not figured out how to do these angles, especially in a nano tank, because I can't really put the phone in it, because then y'all can't see it. So I'm gonna have to play around with these types of videos, but I think it came out pretty well. And I've glued some of the rocks together. I actually glued the biggest rock here to the bottom rock outside of the tank, just because it was very heavy and I didn't want it to fall and break the glass. So I went ahead and glued it outside of the tank and then put it in the tank. But my gluing method is just paper towels and liquid super glue. I actually love this brand of super glue. Not sponsored or anything. It's what I personally use, and I've loved it. It's like water, so be very, very careful, but love this stuff, and it comes in different viscosities as well. So that's what I've been using lately, and I love it. So next up is going to be putting the wood into the tank. My dad actually really loves the roots of different things, roots. So what I'm going to do is kind of take these like smaller pieces and actually put them in kind of like they're going over the rocks and stuff like that, and kind of shape them around the rocks and see what I got going on, and shape them around the rocks and just see what I can do to make it look like it's natural. Like even that right there looks really cool from the side, and also from the front as well. what you can do is kind of cut this piece off here and glue it underneath here, and just kind of play around with it and see where it looks the best at. Because I mean, even right there looks good. Because even right there looks really good. You know, different things. Like, you don't really want it sticking up like this, or I really don't want it sticking up like this, but sometimes it looks cool. My idea for the eagle is to kind of put it in here somewhere to where it looks like it's flying down like a mountain range type of thing, but also want it to look like it's part of the rock and mountain or whatever you want to call it. So that is, so that's what's next on this little project, and enjoy the next time lapse, and hopefully I can get a better angle for y'all. So it's a couple days later from that last clip that y'all saw. I blew out my knee, so been having to take it easy, just kind of gotten up, hobbled out to the projects that I've got going on, and just kind of dabbled as much as I possibly can, and then just went back to rest, ice, whatever. I have an appointment on Friday, so hoping to get some okay answers from that. But everything is glued, and I'm going to put some scatter gravel in. So I've got a lighter version and a little bit of a darker one kind of put on top of the already pebbles in here. The lighter one is to pop that Siriu stone and just give it a little bit more detail. And then I'm going to pack up this project and take it to my dad's office. Since it's in a public location, I actually want to let the cycle naturally, because I'm not going to see it every day. It's right down the road, so I can always go up there. But with my personal tanks, I'm here every day. I can see them every day. And so if something's wrong, I can take action right then and there. But the people that will see this every day don't really know what fish tanks are all about. So I just want to take precaution. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack it up, take it to the office. I'm only going to put in a few plants. I've got 2 different types of stem plant in this bed here. They're both fast growing, so it'll help with the cycle, help with the extra nutrients and everything like that. The aqua soil that's in here has actually been used before, so it shouldn't leach out any ammonia. But just in case of that, I just want to be able to know that it's okay. I'm also going to put in a few different snails to kind of kickstart that cycle. And then of course I have and then I also have the stability from CTAM, which is literal liquid beneficial bacteria. So I'm going to put some of this in there as well. And then of course I have the prime, and that's going to detoxify the ammonia, nitrite, nitrate, which it shouldn't have any in it. The tap water here, I've tested it a couple different times, and it shouldn't be, there shouldn't be anything in it that's crazy. But like I said, just going to keep on the cautious side and just kind of take it slow with this. I have a lot of different plants and stuff, but I am in the process of 2 very big builds right now. And so tank currently is an overgrown garden. So see if you can see it from here. Yep, there you go. So there is mermaid weed and Ludwigia and just all kinds of stuff in there that's grown together, and tiger lotus, and I mean just all kinds of plants. So I just took some clippings of 2 different stem plants in that tank the very healthy top parts of them to put in this tank to kickstart it. And then once I get the other 2 projects done, I'm going to be taking all of my plants and trimming them back and seeing what I have and kind of organizing plants essentially. And then once I do that, I'll come back to this tank, and by that time it should have a good cycle going. I'll test some water and then see if it's okay to add fish in. And then of course adding plants will also add some beneficial bacteria from whatever tank it was in to begin with. I want this tank to not be too crazy on maintenance as well. And so I'm putting the fast growing stem plants in because of course they need it. Of course the new tanks need it. But they're pretty easy to trim and then to replant, or trim, take out, put into a different tank of mine or anything like that. But the other plants, I want them to kind of be slower growing. So I'm thinking crypts, anubias, Java fern, stuff like that. But I want to take my time on this tank since it is my very first public tank that I'll have. So I want to make sure that it's good to go, and I want to make sure that it's cycled correctly and just set up correctly so that it's a showcase of what I am capable of, and the ecosystems and all of that. So I'm going to put the starter gravel in, and then I also have to build up this filter in the back because I didn't get the insertable filter stuff that comes with this specific tank. So I've got a Tupperware container right here that I've got extra sponges and media and all of that in. So I'm going to take all of that out, kind of figure out what I want to do with the filter, and then I will show you all that process, and then we'll go to his office. So we've got starter gravel down. As you've seen in the last clip, I was a little bit more detailed with it and precise. And normally with starter gravel, it's going to scatter it, but it's a small tank, so I wanted to make sure that I was doing it where I wanted it to go. I didn't want too much scattered gravel. All right, so for this filter, this might be temporary, it might not be. But I had these sheets of different coarseness of sponge, and these are the longest sponges that I had currently. So for this part that runs all the way down, there's actually a grate right here in the back. So I took all three coarsenesses, I don't know, anyways, of sponge. So you've got the most coarse, less coarse, and very, very fine. So what I did is I layered that. And then I'll just take this one and actually fold it over the top. So it's going to catch all those fine particles, and then this actually, you can see in the back well, this compartment is actually blacked out. But the last compartment is the pump, and then it goes up and into the tank. I left that completely blank. And then in this side, I've got some ceramic media here. And then you've got the charcoal that I had from a different filter, another coarse sponge, and then some filter floss. So the water actually will come through this compartment, fill it up. overflow into this, hit the filter floss, hit the coarse sponge, hit all of the media, and then go up and into the pump. So that might be a temporary setup. I'll see how it does with the setup I have currently, but it was just something I did with whatever I had on hand currently, and might be able to figure out something a little bit different later on, but this will get it up and going, and if I had to change out something later, then the cycle will be cycled, and all the beneficial bacteria will be inside of the tank as well, and it won't all be in the filter. So I won't crash the cycle or anything like that. And this tank is a work in progress. So let's pack this stuff up and hit the road. One last thing before I pack this up and we hit the road is my dad loved this piece of wood. Actually, it's a peace sign that he calls it. Peace out, you know. So I was trying to incorporate it within the scape, and I actually found the perfect place to put it. And just like that, we are at my dad's office. So unfortunately, when I was driving, the biggest rock here went forward and actually hit the glass, but I'm really thankful that it didn't actually damage anything of the tank itself. But a couple pieces of wood did come unglued, and yeah, lesson learned for me, bring super glue and paper towels anywhere with you at all times. But I ran back to the house real fast, grabbed the glue, and we're gonna put in some more scatter gravel because it kind of got shifted around as well, and my dad actually saw it and wanted a little bit more of the lighter rock in there, so I grabbed some of that while I was at the house, and after that, start filling it up, and as I'm filling it up, I'm gonna put the stem plants in, and we'll be good to go. Well, folks, it's always something. This stand is not doing well with this tank. I'm gonna do this very, very gently, but it moves, and I don't want to do it much more than that so it doesn't fall. So this project is pushed to another day. And yet again, it's another day. So, same jacket, different shirt, but we've got a tank filled, and watch this. No movement. Oh gosh. I can't stabilize the camera and do this at the same time. Movement, 0 in this stand. It is solid. I can do anything to this, not anything, but I can do a lot of things on this stand, and it ain't going nowhere. My dad came in this morning and secured it to the wall. So this is 2 2x4s secured into the studs in the wall, and then screwed into the back of the stand with 3 wood screws. So this stand is going nowhere, and it's amazing. I, of course, dechlorinated with the Prime from CChem, and also jump-started the cycle with the stability from CChem as well. And I'm going to keep checking on this every other day, probably, and just kind of getting an update as my dad comes to work as well. So I've got 2 bigger tanks that I'm currently scaping in the middle of, and I want to go through all of my plants and organize and trim up and do everything needed to prepare the plants to plant into an aquascape. Currently in my garden tank, it is just a overgrown garden currently, and they all need to be trimmed and taken out and separated and all of that. They're covering up some of the foreground plants, and I just got plants kind of everywhere. So I want to organize them before I actually plant this fully, but I just kind of trimmed off some of those stems from the garden tank on the top, those really, really healthy parts, and put them in this one just to get that cycle going. I honestly think that I might just have this rotala in the back here instead of the Ludwigia that is over here. The Ludwigia has a longer leaf on it, and then this rotala has these little shorter leaves and kind of smaller leaves. I don't know. I thought about mixing the two, but I kind of just like this rotala. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys, because I really need some inspiration and some Let me know what you think in the comments, folks, because I definitely need the inspiration and I definitely need the advice. I love getting advice from anybody and everybody, beginner, intermediate, advanced, I don't care. So let me know what y'all think in the back. Should I just continue the entire back with just the Rotala over here? And then, of course, I'm going to put all kinds of foreground plants and maybe some crypts and stuff like that in here once all those plants get organized. Once I can get my life organized. No, that's going to take a long time. I hope that everybody enjoyed this video. This is definitely a work in progress, and there will 100% be another video about this once I get it fully planted, fish are to come, all of that good stuff. It's just the very start of this ecosystem, so stay tuned. Let me know if you have any suggestions for this tank, any ideas. Let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.